6. Lucky numbers to focus and get rich. On Wednesday, May 7th, 2025, Buddhist teachings. What if certain numbers held more than just mathematical value? What if they carried energetic keys that could unlock prosperity, purpose, and clarity in your life? As we step into Wednesday, May 7th, 2025, a day charged with cosmic potential, we turn to 6 sacred numbers rooted in Buddhist wisdom, each one offering not only a glimpse into your fortune, but also a mirror reflecting your inner state. These numbers are not chosen at random. They speak directly to different aspects of your journey, whether you're seeking renewal, deeper purpose, lasting abundance, or breakthrough. In Buddhism, numbers have always held symbolic power, guiding practitioners to align their actions with truth, mindfulness, and spiritual clarity. So today, you're invited to do more than just hear these numbers. You're invited to work with them. Let this not be just another day, but a turning point where insight meets intention. Are you ready to discover which number will help unlock your next level of growth and prosperity? 1. Number 21. Renewal, focus, and forward momentum. On Wednesday, May 7th, 2025, as we reflect on the powerful influence of certain numbers through the lens of Buddhist wisdom, we are invited to focus on number 21, a number that speaks directly to those of us seeking clarity, purpose, and a meaningful direction in life. Number 21 is more than just digits. It holds deep spiritual and energetic significance. In Buddhism, the number 2 signifies harmony, the sacred balance between compassion and wisdom, the twin wings that help us soar beyond suffering. The number 1 symbolizes the personal journey, the inner path to awakening, where we cultivate mindfulness and take responsibility for our own transformation. When combined, 20 yunya becomes a call to action. It is a gentle yet firm reminder to realign ourselves with our deeper intentions, to renew our focus, and to embrace our role as conscious participants in the unfolding of our destiny. As the Buddha said, "With our thoughts, we make the world." This number urges us to stop letting distractions and confusion guide our days, and instead step into our mornings with quiet power and self-direction. A simple yet profound practice you can adopt is this. Each morning, before the world pulls you in different directions, write down one thing you commit to completing. Then, softly affirm to yourself, "I move forward with clarity and courage." This act, though small, strengthens your inner resolve and brings your wandering mind back to center. The energetic influence of 21 cuts through mental fog, activates your natural motivation, and begins attracting the kind of opportunities that align with your soul's path. In our fast-paced, digitally overstimulated lives, this kind of grounded focus is not just helpful, it's vital. It teaches us how to walk mindfully, even in a chaotic world. Just like a river doesn't lose its way as it bends and curves, neither should we. As Dogen Zenji wisely said, "A flower falls even though we love it. A weed grows even though we do not love it. Life will shift and change, but with the energy of 21, you are reminded that you have the power to respond, to recenter, and to move forward, not with fear, but with clarity and courage. 2. Number 94. Legacy, deep purpose, and lasting prosperity. Let's talk about the energy of the number 94 and why it matters so deeply, especially if you've been feeling stuck or unsure about how to move forward in life or business. The number 94 isn't just about luck. It's a powerful reminder of the kind of success that truly lasts, the kind built on purpose, service, and inner strength. The number 9 in Buddhism represents spiritual maturity, the wisdom that comes from experience, and the peaceful sense of completion. It's the kind of energy that tells you to stop chasing and start arriving, to trust in your growth, your lessons, and your intuition. Now add the energy of the number 4, which speaks to stability, strong foundations, and patient effort. It's the quiet, grounded force that builds temples, homes, and communities, not overnight, but brick by brick. When you bring these two together in the number 94, you're being called to create a life of meaningful abundance, not one that just looks successful from the outside, but one that feels deeply fulfilling within. This is not the kind of prosperity that fades with trends or crumbles under pressure. It's the kind that flows naturally when your actions come from a place of kindness, contribution, and clear purpose. In the teachings of the Buddha, wealth is not a goal, it's a reflection. A reflection of right intention, mindful action, and the good you bring into the lives of others. So here's a simple practice you can do this week. Take a moment to write down 4 specific acts of kindness you can do for someone else. Maybe a word of encouragement, helping someone in need, or simply listening with presence. Then, during meditation or quiet reflection, repeat the number 94 gently in your mind while visualizing your life rooted in generosity and steady growth. Let this number be more than a symbol. Let it be a compass. Instead of asking, "How can I get more?" ask, "How can I give more meaningfully?" What would it look like if your success wasn't something you chased, but something you attracted by living with heart? The lesson of 94 is simple but profound. When your path is guided by purpose and service, prosperity will walk beside you, quietly, gracefully, and with lasting impact, not just for you, but for the world around you. 3. Number 7. Enlightenment and awakening. Let's take a moment together to reflect on something deeply powerful. The number 7. This isn't just a digit on a calendar or a lucky guess on a lottery ticket. In the heart of Buddhist teachings, the number 7 is a symbol of awakening, divine timing, and spiritual clarity. Imagine for a moment the story of the Buddha's enlightenment. It is said that after reaching his great awakening beneath the Bodhi tree, he took 7 steps forward, and with each step a lotus flower, a symbol of purity and enlightenment, bloomed beneath his feet. Picture that for yourself now. What if every step you take today could lead to something beautiful, simply because you're walking with awareness, with intention, with heart? Now, here's a gentle practice for you. Tomorrow morning, when you first wake up, before the world comes rushing in, softly say the number 7 to yourself. Close your eyes and imagine a warm, golden light surrounding you, like the early sunlight wrapping you in calm. This light is your inner wisdom, your natural peace. It's been there all along, just waiting for you to notice. This simple moment can become a sacred pause, a grounding ritual, helping you move through the day with greater clarity and balance. And as you go forward, you may start to notice something interesting. Opportunities arriving just when you need them, meetings that feel meant to be, and ideas flowing in at exactly the right time. That's not coincidence. In Buddhism, we call that living in tune with the Dāna, the natural rhythm of truth and harmony. Have you ever had a moment when things just seem to align perfectly, without effort? That's the energy of the number 7, a sign that you are connected, not just to your goals, but to a deeper, wiser part of yourself. When you align with that space, you begin to see that richness is more than wealth. It's the richness of having peace in your mind, strength in your heart, and joy in your everyday moments. True prosperity isn't something we chase. It's something we live when we are present and awake. So ask yourself gently, what would shift in your life if you carried that golden light, that energy of 7, with you throughout the day? If you're still watching, you're already aligning yourself with the energy of abundance this Wednesday, May 7th, 2025. Comment below with Lucky Focus to affirm your intention to attract wealth through mindfulness and clarity. Don't click away. There's still powerful wisdom and guidance ahead that could shift your financial path. Stay with us to unlock the 6 lucky numbers inspired by Buddhist teachings. 4. Number 66. Supreme Abundance. Number 66 carries a powerful vibration of supreme abundance, especially meaningful for those walking a path that blends spiritual depth with worldly success. In Buddhist teachings, the number 6 holds sacred significance through the 6 paramitas: generosity, morality, patience, diligence, meditation, and wisdom, which are the 6 perfections that lead us toward enlightenment. When this number is doubled to 66, its spiritual energy intensifies, symbolizing a full commitment to both inner and outer wealth. This is not merely about financial gain, but about aligning your intentions, actions, and values with the greater harmony of the universe. On Wednesday, May 7th, 2025, the energy of 66 can be especially potent. To attune yourself to this energy, start your morning with a quiet meditation, focused not on desires, but on your sense of purpose. Then, write down 6 things you are deeply grateful for and 6 heartfelt goals that reflect both your personal aspirations and your wish to benefit others. You can even place the number 66 beneath your pillow the night before as a symbolic gesture of inviting this vibration into your subconscious. This mindful practice doesn't just set the tone for your day, it aligns your inner spirit with the rhythm of universal abundance. In today's busy world, where many chase wealth without peace, the number 66 reminds us that true richness comes when generosity and discipline walk hand in hand. When we cultivate patience, act with wisdom, and remain diligent in our efforts, prosperity naturally follows. Not just in money, but in love, health, and peace of mind. By embodying these timeless values, you don't just attract good fortune, you become a vessel of it, uplifting yourself and those around you. So as you move through this special Wednesday, carry the energy of 66 as a quiet strength within you, a reminder that abundance flows from the inside out. 5. Number 43. Transformation and Breakthrough. Let's take a moment to focus on the energy of the number 43, a powerful symbol of transformation and breakthrough. This number carries the grounded essence of 4, which represents structure, stability, and foundation, combined with the uplifting spark of 3, which symbolizes creativity, growth, and expression. When these two forces come together, 43 becomes a guiding light for those who are ready to break out of their old patterns and move into a new chapter with clarity and strength. It reminds you that real change doesn't happen through chaos, but through structured transformation, where you remain rooted yet open to change. On days when the energy is especially high, like Wednesday, May 7th, 2025, this number becomes a spiritual ally, encouraging you to release what's no longer serving you and step courageously into the unknown. To connect deeply with this number, try this simple practice. During your quiet time or meditation, visualize a golden bridge stretching out in front of you. A path from your current self to your better, freer, more abundant self. As you breathe steadily, gently repeat the number 43 with intention. Let it echo within you, as if each repetition reinforces your courage and resilience. The more you do this, the more your mind aligns with change, and your energy opens to breakthroughs you may not have thought possible. This isn't magic. It's mindful intention paired with action. So ask yourself, what part of my life is asking for transformation? Is it your career, your mindset, your relationships, or perhaps your financial habits? The number 43 whispers that you are stronger than your fears and that every great change begins with one bold step. Embrace the message of 43 and use it as a gentle yet firm reminder that even small daily shifts can lead to massive inner and outer breakthroughs. Today's lesson is this: transformation doesn't demand perfection. It asks for courage. When you're ready to let go of the old, life begins to open doors you never knew existed. Keep walking, stay grounded, and trust that breakthrough is already on its way to you. 6. Number 38. Infinite prosperity. Now let's talk about one of the most powerful numbers you can focus on this Wednesday, May 7th, 2025. The number 38. Known as the symbol of infinite prosperity. I want you to pause for a moment and really take this in. This number is not just about wealth in the material sense, but a deeper, more fulfilling form of abundance that begins from within. The number 3, in Buddhist-inspired numerology, represents the harmony of your mind, body, and spirit. And when these three are in balance, your energy becomes a magnet for all that is good. The number 8, on the other hand, symbolizes infinite abundance, not just in wealth, but in wisdom, love, and creative flow. So when you bring these two together, 38 becomes a sacred reminder that true prosperity comes when you're living in alignment, when your thoughts, your actions, and your spiritual path all point in the same direction. Have you ever felt like you're doing everything right, but something still feels out of sync? That's often because our inner world and our outer actions are not aligned. That's where the practice linked to this number comes in. On this special Wednesday, take time in the morning to set 3 major goals that matter to your heart, not just your wallet. Then list 8 small, clear actions you can take that day, even if they seem minor, that will move you closer to those goals. While doing this, meditate or sit quietly for a few minutes with the number 38 in your mind. Imagine it glowing, imagine it vibrating with energy, and visualize it gently guiding your path. What do these goals look like for you? What small steps could you take today that honor both your inner peace and your outer progress? By focusing your energy this way, you're not forcing wealth. You're attracting it through alignment, through purpose, through presence. And that's what makes the energy of 38 so special. It doesn't rush or chase, it invites and flows. Let this number be your reminder that prosperity is a reflection of who you are when you're fully connected to your highest self. So, what part of your life is asking to come into balance today? Thank you for watching today's video. I'm truly grateful to have you here as part of our growing community. Whether you're seeking focus, fortune, or simply a moment of peace through Buddhist wisdom, your presence means so much. If this is your first time joining us, feel free to comment, "I am new to the path." And if you've been walking this journey with us for a while, let us know by commenting, "Still walking in wisdom." Your words help us stay inspired and connected. Let's keep walking this path of clarity and abundance together. Abundance without attachment, a Buddhist guide to prosperity. When you hear the word wealth, what's the first thing that comes to mind? For most people, it's money, status, or maybe even luxury. But what if we've been measuring prosperity the wrong way all along? In the Buddhist view, wealth isn't just about material gain. It's about the quality of your mind, the purity of your intentions, and the peace you carry in your heart. This journey isn't about chasing riches. It's about building a life so grounded, so mindful, and so meaningful that abundance flows naturally from it. What if true success wasn't about having more? Today, we'll explore 5 powerful Buddhist principles that can completely transform the way you think about money, success, and sustainable wealth. Ready to shift your mindset and start walking a path where your spirit and your finances grow together? Number 1. Redefining wealth the Buddhist way. Certainly. Here's the refined, expanded, and enriched version of the content you've provided, rewritten with warmth, clarity, and deeper insight suitable for your audience aged 30 to 65, who are exploring Abundance Without Attachment, a Buddhist guide to prosperity. In our modern world, where success is often measured by financial gains and material status, the Buddhist path offers a refreshing and profound redefinition of what it truly means to be wealthy. In the Dhammapada, the Buddha says, "Contentment is the greatest wealth." This wisdom gently invites us to shift our focus from external accumulation to internal richness. According to Buddhist teachings, real prosperity is not about stacking up more money, more belongings, more titles, but about cultivating qualities like wisdom, compassion, generosity, and above all, a peaceful heart. A person who possesses these inner treasures walks through life with dignity and joy, unshaken by circumstances. To the Buddha, someone is truly rich not because of the weight of their bank account, but because of the lightness in their mind, the absence of craving, fear, and dissatisfaction. The less we are enslaved by the constant hunger for more, the more space we create for gratitude, simplicity, and spiritual abundance. This doesn't mean we must reject comfort or live in poverty. Rather, it's an invitation to examine our relationship with wealth and to ask, do I own my possessions, or do they? In today's fast-paced society, many of us chase after success, believing it will bring lasting happiness. Yet often we find ourselves more anxious, more restless, and more disconnected than ever. The Buddhist view teaches us that attachment, not the objects themselves, is the root of suffering. As Shantideva, the great Indian Buddhist sage, wisely said, all the suffering in the world comes from wanting happiness for oneself. All the happiness in the world comes from wanting happiness for others. So when we redefine wealth through this lens, it becomes about how we show up in the world, how we serve, how we care, how we grow in awareness and kindness. A generous heart, a calm mind, a spirit unburdened by greed or resentment, these are the jewels of a prosperous life. Let's bring this closer to everyday life. You might have a stable job, a home and financial security, yet feel something is missing, a kind of hollowness inside. That's because true abundance isn't just about having more, it's about needing less and being deeply content with what is. This is where the Buddhist path becomes not only spiritual but incredibly practical. Instead of constantly reaching outward, we turn inward and discover richness already present within us. A simple walk in nature, a meaningful conversation, a quiet evening of reflection. These can be sources of deep fulfillment when we are present and open-hearted. In this way, we slowly retrain the mind to appreciate what we have rather than obsess over what we lack. As Zen master Ryokan once said, "My hut is small, but I see the moon and the stars." He reminds us that even with very little, life can be full, beautiful, and satisfying. So, as we navigate our responsibilities, raising families, building careers, caring for others, we can begin to shift our definition of success. Rather than chasing wealth with attachment, we can invite wealth with awareness. Instead of hoarding, we share. Instead of clinging, we release. And each time we choose mindfulness over impulse, generosity over greed, peace over pressure, we are stepping into a form of prosperity that no market crash or economic downturn can ever take away. In the end, a truly wealthy life is one where the heart is light, the mind is clear, and the soul feels deeply connected to the present moment. Or as the Buddha so clearly taught, just as a candle cannot burn without fire, men cannot live without a spiritual light. Would you like me to continue with the next point in your content? Number 2. Right livelihood, earn without harm. Let's take a moment to reflect on something many of us think about every day: how we earn a living. The Buddha's teaching on right livelihood, one of the 8 essential elements of the Noble Eightfold Path, offers a clear and compassionate answer. It asks us to consider not just what we do for work, but how we do it, and whether our work brings harm or healing into the world. Right livelihood is not about making less money or avoiding success. It's about making sure our livelihood aligns with our values, with kindness, and with the well-being. So ask yourself honestly, does the way you earn your income contribute to peace, fairness, and compassion? Or does it rely on harm, deceit, or exploitation in any form? The Buddha was very clear on this. Livelihoods that cause suffering to others, such as trading in weapons, dealing in intoxicants, harming animals, or engaging in deceitful practices, are not compatible with the path to true happiness. Why? Because our actions don't exist in a vacuum. Every job, every transaction, every service affects someone or something. When our work supports life rather than destroys it, we not only sleep better at night, we also plant seeds of long-term peace and abundance for ourselves and others. Think of it this way: right livelihood is an invitation to live in integrity, where your work reflects your heart. It allows your daily efforts to become a form of meditation, a way of practicing compassion in real life, not just on the cushion. This doesn't mean you have to quit your job tomorrow or become a monk. It simply means being mindful and intentional about the work you choose to do and how you choose to do it. If your current work causes harm or inner conflict, explore whether it can be transformed. Can you do it in a way that brings more benefit and less harm? If that's not possible, consider what small steps might lead you to a more wholesome livelihood. This journey is deeply personal, and there's no one-size-fits-all answer. But the question is always worth asking: is my livelihood helping me walk the path of wisdom and compassion, or is it pulling me away from it? And here's the beauty: when your work is rooted in integrity, you'll feel it. There's a kind of ease that comes when your conscience and your career are not in conflict. You're no longer chasing wealth to fill a sense of emptiness. Instead, you begin to experience what the Buddha called abundance without attachment, prosperity that doesn't possess you and doesn't cost your peace of mind. So take a moment and look within. What does right livelihood mean to you in your current life, in your current job? How can you bring more awareness, more compassion, more ethical clarity into the way you earn and contribute? This isn't just a spiritual ideal, it's a practical way to live with more harmony and less regret. Whether you're a teacher, a builder, a healer, an artist, or an entrepreneur, your work can become a powerful part of your spiritual path if you let it. The world needs people who earn honestly, live mindfully, and lead by example. Will you be one of them? Today's wisdom to carry with you. The way you earn your living is not separate from your spiritual life. It is your practice. Right livelihood teaches us that prosperity and morality can walk hand in hand. Let your work be an offering of peace. Let it nourish you and the world. Number 3. Dāna, the power of generosity. Let's take a moment to reflect on something simple yet deeply powerful. Generosity, or in Pali we call it Dāna. This is not just about giving money or material things. It's about cultivating an open heart. In Buddhism, Dāna is considered one of the foundations of a prosperous and meaningful life, because true prosperity isn't just measured by what we have, but by what we're willing to give. Now think about this. Have you ever offered something to someone? Your time, a helping hand, a kind word, without expecting anything in return. Maybe you didn't even realize it at the time, but that moment of giving wasn't just a gift for the other person. It was also a moment of freedom for you. When we give freely, we loosen our grip on attachment, and in doing so, we invite peace and abundance into our lives. The Buddha once said, "If beings knew, as I know, the results of giving and sharing, they would not eat without having given, nor would the stain of miserliness overcome their minds." Just let that sink in. The act of giving is not a loss, it's a path to liberation. You see, in our modern world, we often believe we have to hold on tightly to what we have, that we must protect our resources or our time because there's not enough to go around. But this belief in scarcity is actually a form of suffering. It isolates us, it makes us fearful, and it cuts us off from others. But when we give, even in small ways, we challenge that fear. We affirm that there is enough, and that we are enough. And what's truly beautiful is that generosity isn't just about big, dramatic gestures. It can be as simple as listening with full attention when someone speaks, sharing a meal, offering kind encouragement, or giving your time to someone who needs support. These seemingly small actions ripple out far beyond what we can see. Now, here's where the real magic happens, when we give without attachment to outcome. That means we're not giving to get praise, to earn karma points, or to be seen as a good person. We give because we recognize our shared humanity. We see the suffering in others and realize that easing their burden eases our own. This kind of giving transforms us. It purifies the mind, softens the heart, and builds a bridge between ourselves and the world around us. As Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh beautifully said, the practice of giving is the practice of letting go. So when we practice Dāna, we're not just giving away something. We're giving up the ego's need to hold, to control, and to possess. Can you recall a time when someone gave something to you with no strings attached? How did that feel? And now turn that question inward. When was the last time you gave with that same spirit? These reflections aren't just mental exercises. They're doorways into a more compassionate and abundant life. The more we practice generosity, the more we dissolve the illusion of separateness. We begin to see that life isn't a transaction, it's a shared journey. And when we live that way, prosperity takes on a whole new meaning. It's no longer about accumulation, it's about connection, purpose, and joy. So today, I invite you to try something. Give something freely. Not because you have to, not because you'll get something in return, but because it's who you truly are. Let your generosity be a mirror of your inner richness. And as you do, notice how life begins to give back, not always in the ways you expect, but often in the ways you need most. What does generosity look like in your life today? And how might your world change if you practiced giving, not just occasionally, but as a way of being? Number 4, mindfulness and money habits. In our fast-paced world, where money often feels like a source of stress, comparison, or even identity, practicing mindfulness around our financial habits becomes not just beneficial, it becomes essential. Mindfulness, in its essence, is the gentle, non-judgmental awareness of what is happening in the present moment. And when applied to our relationship with money, it becomes a powerful tool for transformation. Rather than treating money as a source of anxiety or blindly following ingrained habits, mindfulness invites us to slow down and actually see how we earn, spend, save, and give. We begin to notice patterns, perhaps spending out of boredom, guilt, or the desire to impress others. And as we become aware of these patterns, we gain the ability to respond rather than react. For example, you might find yourself reaching for online shopping late at night, not out of need but from emotional fatigue. Mindfulness shines a light on these moments, allowing you to pause and ask, what am I really seeking here? With that pause, the power to choose differently emerges. Through regular mindfulness practice, whether it's a moment of breathing before a purchase, journaling your financial emotions, or setting a quiet intention before receiving your paycheck, you can develop clarity and space around your money choices. This awareness helps you spend in alignment with your values rather than temporary emotions or social pressures. You begin to see that prosperity is not measured by how much you accumulate, but by the peace and purpose behind how you use what you have. A mindful money habit could be something as simple as making a grocery list with care, or choosing to invest time in experiences over possessions. These small, intentional acts nurture a sense of abundance that is deeply rooted and difficult to shake, even when circumstances change. In today's consumer-driven culture, we're constantly bombarded by messages telling us that happiness is just one more purchase away. But Buddhism teaches us that craving leads to suffering, and when we buy without awareness, we're often trying to fill a void that money was never meant to fill. Mindfulness helps us see the impermanence of our desires and reminds us that no external item can bring lasting contentment. With this wisdom, we can still enjoy the blessings that money provides: comfort, security, the ability to help others, but without becoming attached to it. We can spend without guilt and save without fear, because our sense of worth is not tied to a number in a bank account. Ultimately, being mindful with money is not about restriction, but about liberation. It is about finding freedom from compulsive habits and stepping into a relationship with money that feels conscious, compassionate, and aligned with our deeper values. When we approach money in this way, we naturally begin to share more, worry less, and live with greater simplicity and joy. The abundance we experience is no longer just financial, it becomes emotional, spiritual, and communal. So as you reflect on your own habits, ask yourself not just, what am I spending on, but also, what am I feeding with this choice? Peace or restlessness? In that question lies the heart of mindful prosperity. Thank you for joining the journey of wisdom today. As we've explored, each of these 6 numbers carries not just the promise of good fortune, but the deeper wisdom to guide our thoughts, actions, and intentions toward lasting abundance. Remember, true prosperity isn't something we chase. It's something we cultivate with clarity, mindfulness, and heart. Whether it's the focus of 21, the awakening of 7, or the infinite flow of 38, these numbers are simply reflections of the energy you choose to carry into your day. If this message brought insight or encouragement to your path, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Journey of Wisdom. And make sure to turn on notifications so you won't miss the next video, filled with teachings to uplift your spirit and support your growth. Until next time, walk gently, live mindfully, and may the energy of wisdom guide your way.